So who killed Mr. Ibu? I would think what killed Mr. Ibu are Hello, dear friends. My name is Father Stan Chu Ilo, and I'm a priest of Ogu Diocese in Enugu State, Nigeria. Mr. Ibu, who died and whose death has left a huge hole in many hearts in Nigeria and the rest of Africa, came from the same state as me. So I claim him as a brother. I hope that our state government will honor this great actor. He came from a very poor background, a true dint of hard work. He emerged as one of the greatest exports from Enugu State, and indeed from Nigeria. We need to give him a befitting funeral and honor him so that generations yet unborn will know that there is something great about applying yourself. Use your talent. God can help you. No matter what and where you come from or who you are, you can get to the top. But as we prepare for the funeral of our brother, Mr. Ibu, I have seen a lot of videos going around that he was poisoned, that people were not happy with his success, and that's why they killed him. And, even in his own words, he also talked about how sad he has been because some of his family members had been killed, poisoned by wicked people. And don't get me wrong, there are bad people out there. There are wicked people out there. And that's why Jesus came and died on the cross, to save the world of evil people. So Jesus is still on the cross trying to save the world of evil people. So there are bad people. I mean, look at the world the way it is. All the killings, all the wars, all the violence. And there are people who are, as we say in Nigeria, enemies of progress. They are killjoy. Bad belly, they do them. We pray that God will convert their hearts. But there is something that pains me really deeply as a priest, that whenever someone dies, there must be someone who killed him or her. I studied public health just because I wanted to know more about health. And what I share with you now is my thinking about who killed or what killed Ibu. Based on just looking at what is reported, I don't have the diagnosis of his ailment, but we can find out just thinking through, looking at the symptoms and the manifestations, the most likely thing that killed him. And so I think we need to give respect to this great guy by not speculating too much about who poisoned him. And I know that Ibu moved to different churches, searching for solutions and for help. And many of us priests and ministers, we feed into these false narratives. So people come to you and you are a prophet, you start to say, this person is after you, you have to run away from this person, you give all kinds of protection to the person, so-called protection. Some of us are fortune tellers. I don't know which God some people serve that tells you that people who have diseases that can be treated Diseases that has not even been diagnosed, unfortunately. Rather than actually try to help them to know what is attacking them, you are telling them that demons and wicked people are after them. Yes, there might be wicked people that are after them, but first of all, do the needful, which the ones you can see with your koro eye through lab tests, through diagnostics. You know, I was in Abidjan in 2015 for 3 months. I was learning French. And one of the things that surprised me about St. Kizito's parish, where I was ministering, was that every Sunday after the 11 o'clock mass, the nurses and doctors' gates, working closely with the chaplaincy of the police. I remember I still maintain contact with my friend Guy, who was the commander. Every Sunday after mass, they tested people for diabetes, and they checked people's blood pressure. And if your sugar level is high, they advise you on what to do. If your blood pressure is high, they started to give you medication right on the spot. How many lives they have saved in St. Kizito, in Abidjan? People come to your office with terrible headache. They're having double vision. It happened to me recently when I was home in Nigeria, in my own family. And I immediately saw that this woman who came to hug me, to welcome me, was shaking. And I knew something was wrong. And her blood pressure was 200 over 100. She was getting close to having a stroke or heart attack. How many lives can be saved if we ministers, rather than simply pouring holy water on people and casting out demons, we begin to find the diseases that are eating up our people and begin health education that can help our people to understand the health issues that they have. So who killed Mr. Ibu? I would think what killed Mr. Ibu are a combination of health issues that were not detected on time. Most of the diseases that kill us, I mean, all of us will die one day. Our lives are in the hand of God. But most of the diseases that kill us can be managed if we detected them early. Even the worst, that is cancer. Many cancers can be managed, can be cured or reversed, controlled. The spread can be controlled, however you want to frame it, if they are discovered early. For instance, colon cancer. That's why when you get to be 45, you start to check do colonoscopy to check your colon. They check you and they know if there are polyps and if these polyps are cancerous and how to manage it. For instance, prostate cancer or prostate issues, if it's discovered early, I know many people who are living very healthy life because they went for annual checkups. The same in women. Breast cancer, if it's discovered early, again, you have a fighting chance of survival. Cervical cancer, which is very dangerous, if it's discovered early, you have a fighting chance of survival, and many others. The same with heart disease, cardiovascular issues that we have. Some of these issues are congenital. Some of us come, like your age and your family history may predispose you for heart disease, and then you start to manage it early. How do you manage that? By at least controlling your blood pressure. Blood pressures don't just jump up overnight. Just like chronic kidney disease. Chronic kidney disease, sometimes it develops just like diabetes. It doesn't give you any symptoms. It doesn't give you any headache. It is gradual, and then it continues. It continues. If you do not manage it, if you do not detect it, then it becomes a crisis. That's why, for instance, high blood pressure is called a silent killer, because it does not give you any warning sign. If you saw John Okafor Ibu when he started as an actor, he was slim. Over time, he started to grow big. Now, I must say this, because next year we celebrate 40 years of that song, We Are the World, composed by who? Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie. Michael Jackson was a great talent. God bless that guy. But society, really, the kind of celebrity culture we have, turned Michael Jackson into a different, maybe someone that is no longer human, a Superman. And all the attempt to cope with all these things led him to all kinds of behaviors. And we watched him fade before our very eyes. And we can talk of many other actors like that. Someone like Whitney Houston. We can talk of, and then they go into all this cycle. In Nigeria, our celebrity culture with our actors, I think, is becoming bad. So Ibu means weight, heavy. Mr. Ibu. So as he was growing bigger and bigger, it became also part of his appeal. Just like I watch Nollywood, I don't want to mention some of the actors because I respect them, but some of our actors are obese. And that is part of their appeal, that they look huge. Men as well as, but mainly a lot of them women. That's part of the appeal. And what happens is that these people are degenerating. They're going down health-wise without knowing, because, these diseases, they go unnoticed until they become what? They become a crisis, or they become chronic. So Mr. Ibu, when we heard that he was sick, I wasn't surprised. I knew that he was a candidate for diabetes and chronic kidney disease. But the question is, where was his doctor? Was he having his regular checkup? He had the money to go for regular checkups. Because when you do your regular checkups, the kidney function is tested, the creatinine level, or what now they call the glomerular filtration rate. If it is 60 or less, then they begin to monitor you. Because like I said, early detection is the solution to cure and survival. You check your risk factor. As you get older, there are many diseases that are associated with age. For us, blacks, high blood pressure and diabetes are the things that kill most of us. Apart from other infectious diseases, apart from infectious diseases, the non-communicable diseases that we are predisposed to as blacks are diabetes and hypertension and associated vascular diseases. And then you start to have congestive heart issues, arterial arrhythmia, and you name it, other diseases associated with the heart. That is why every one of us, if you're a preacher, preach about people controlling two things in their lives as blacks: controlling your sugar level and controlling your blood pressure. These two, if you do, can save many lives. So Mr. Ibu was growing bigger. So looking at him, one would say he was morbidly obese. And when I heard that he was amputated as a result of diabetes, I knew he was in real trouble. And that if that was not managed, he could develop deep vein thrombosis or arterial thrombosis. Arterial thrombosis associated with not the diabetes, but with high blood pressure and other things going on, because the kidney and the heart, they all work. These are vital organs. They work together. If your kidney is not functioning well, it's going to affect your heart. It's going to affect your lungs. So I don't know whether the blood clot that led to his cardiac arrest, whether it is deep vein or arterial thrombosis. Whichever it is associated with amputation, especially if it is not well managed. Because some of these things, amputation, as you know, can be an arrhythmic trigger, even if it's not well managed or if there are complications as a result of, depending on the stage of your diabetes or the stage of the kidney, the chronic kidney disease. So rather than speculating about who killed him, let his death be for us a moment to think about how we manage our health. Part of why I had to study public health as a priest is that I want to help our people through health education like what I'm doing now. We need to train our people regular checkups. Many of us go to hospital only when we become sick. No, make it regular, especially once you get to 30 years. That's when you begin to monitor everything in your body. Yes, we all will die one day like Mr. Ibu. But like my doctor told me when I turned 40 and I came to the office and he checked my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was really, that day it was 141/81. He said, look, we have to help you to help yourself. Otherwise, you're going to die very young. So you must do what? You must cut down on food, you must lose weight and all that. And that's what I started to do. By God's grace, I was able to reverse it. I know a friend who was told he was pre-diabetic. And he told me, Father, I'm going to work hard. And he did. And he reversed pre-diabetic stage. Now, his blood sugar is within control. You, too, can help yourself. That's what we call modifiable factors. I cannot change the fact that I am black. And that because I am black and because of my family history, my dad died of congestive heart issues. So I can't change the fact that I have a risk. But my dad died at 83. So if I work hard, then the onset of that disease for me might be at a later stage when I'm already tired of living, perhaps. You never know. Our lives are in the hand of God. I think, talking from a Christian perspective, that taking care of our health is also a Christian duty. God will judge you if you do not take care of your health. So the modifiable factors, what you eat, exercise, going once every year to check the state of your health, buy a blood pressure monitor at home and check it once every month. Let this death, like a lot of our Nollywood actors have died from diseases that could have been prevented. Look at Sam Loco. He died of diabetes. We can manage some of these things, especially type 2 diabetes. We can manage these things. So let us watch your weight. Man, guys like me, this is no longer time to celebrate big belly. So that you're carrying all this pot belly around, you're carrying high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke. You're carrying chronic kidney disease. That's what you have in that stomach. So you got to work hard. Walk around 40 minutes. Take a walk around every evening. At least try to do it 150 minutes every week. It's not going to kill you. It will actually give you a good life. It will actually make you healthier. So let us pray for our brother, John Oka, for Mr. Ibu and the family and all those who are affected by his death. And we hope to keep his memory alive by celebrating his legacy. He was a great guy. And so are you.